What's good? It's your boy DopeSomething. Welcome back to the channel. So in last video, y'all seen that we was doing the taming process, getting all the utensils. I say utensils, all the dinos and everything I needed. In this video, you get to see kind of the process of me building what I call the Devil's Den. Now, the Devil's Den is my own personal house, quote unquote, area where I hatch, I breed, and I got a vault, a loot box for my stuff, so on and so forth. I seen 40 going crazy. I said, you know what? I think I want to go ahead and build me a little something up on the house on the hill. So you're gonna see a full walkthrough from the beginning to end in a second, but this is just the outside. As you can see, I built little staircases going up all the way around. It started off, I was trying to do a circle, but it didn't really work out perfectly. So it is what it is. Um, but you can see the main house. Commandeer to get the 40. He built the main house, of course, as well as the tribute tower, which gives us XP bonuses, boosts, so on and so forth, as well as the top area. Still don't know what that is, and he never ended up completing it. So I think he just kind of left that project as it was. But this is my egg collector, or our egg collector, however you want to put it. I've had the Utas fertilizing eggs, a couple Rexes, a whole lot of penguins, so on and so forth. But let's get down to it. As you can see, here's another little step. I'm skipping around a little bit of me actually decorating the Devil's Den. I put up some tables, put up some some lanterns on each table. To kind of look like a little nice, like a little homey. As well as I ended up making a whole bunch of bottles, which a lot of crystal went into doing this, and place them one by one on each little table. Little decoration shit. Of course, never gets used, but it looks nice. If I'm gonna do something, you gotta do it all the way. So I'm not gonna make y'all watch me put bottles on every single table, but I did want to kind of incorporate it for y'all so y'all can see a little bit, as well as I ended up building a piano, which you can play songs, so on and so forth through the Argy experience. Um, just added a couple bottles there, kind of fit in with the scenery, so on and so forth. I tried to do like a pattern of mixing colors, so on and so forth, but it's only 4 different types of bottles. You can only do so much. So I made do what I had, so it's a lot of duplicate bottles, but I try to change the order, so on and so forth. But let's get through with the whole walking process. This is my little sleep area, the 5 finger discount, which I call usually my storage chest. I got a nice little outlook into the snow biome, desert area, whatever you want to call it. Kind of see the house on the outside right there. Of course, I put lanterns all the way around the little ramp that I built. It ain't looking cheesy no more, so I actually got a staircase. Again, I would end up going with the it's modded, obviously, the glass, but it's see-through glass, to kind of give you a little overlook. As you can see, I did some more tables up here down to the staircase. Boom. As well as I put 2 fridges, one for eggs, one for food, etc. You can see the decoration is nice. I put the ACs under the staircase, as well as they're like a nice little entrance, so you can walk out onto the fence thing. It's a lamp to my left. And then here goes the staircase as it winds down, kind of a circular thing. I decided to put lamps to kind of light up, during the nighttime, look a little nice, as well as the little pikes, because I like the savage barbarian kind of outlook of it. And yeah, so that's the Devil's Den, and of course, like I said, 40 built the thing on top of the hill with the house, so on and so forth. And we're gonna go and take a ride up there just to kind of show y'all, the progress again. I think it still looks the same as it did when y'all last seen it. Um, but I'm gonna go ahead and ride down to the greenhouse. It is completely finished, as well as 40 was doing something down here. I don't really know what he was really going for, but he did end up building uh something. I don't really know what you want to call it, but as you can see, we got the shark. I actually got 2 of them now. One is Chomp, and the other one is the Perfect Tame 150. But I think he was just building. Uh, yeah, I don't know, but he was building something anyway. So that's like the little house on the water type shit, or the greenhouse, whatever you want to call it. And now I want to show y'all the kibble making process that I started, because it's probably gonna be the only time that you kind of see this is using the 2 best kibble, which one is exceptional kibble, which you need Rex eggs for, and the ultimate kibble in the game, which you can use for any tame, it doesn't really matter, is the blue one, which you need Uranus eggs for, which is considered the exceptional or extraordinary kibble, which is the top kibble in the game. Um, pretty much that goes for all the exotic creatures in the game. So I believe that is the Thylacoleo. It might not be Thylacoleo. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. It's just the exotic creatures that needs the very top of the top tier. Um, I also wanted to show y'all kind of like my baby making process. Like I said, we finally putting all the use to all them curricle eggs, aka penguins. They lay eggs, for the basic kill with so on and so forth. But since I already kind of progressed, kind of far in the game, I kind of don't need them. They're mainly just getting killed for polymer, in all honesty, organic polymer. So we've hatched all of them, to get harvested later once we need the actual organic polymer. As well as you can see the Rexes. These are going to be my battle Rexes, aka boss Rexes, that you're going to see us fighting later on. Once they get, developed, get some more levels, so on and so forth. As well as you can see the long tails, which are the Uterannuses. Of course, I need a couple battle Uterannuses in case the first one doesn't go through. But this is a better kind of, a view of them after I sorted them out and put them down here in the open field area. You can see Uterannuses, baby penguins, as well as 40 decided to build a bio. I forgot what it's called. It's called a bio something. Anyway, it's like a grinder. If you take any of your tames, you can throw them onto the grinder, turn it on. It's a bio grinder. Throw them onto the grinder, turn it on, and they end up dropping basic kibble, some hide, some meat, and depending on what you do, it drops the other, polymer or whatever the case. Anyway, it's not really that useful unless like you just need a quick little hurry of getting kibble or whatever. But now we're going into the cave part. Of course, I was solo and going through all these caves, and there was no commentary. So I'm gonna commentate kind of through some of it, but I'm not gonna sit here and commentate through the whole process because, again, this is probably like majority of the video is gonna be me running through caves, which so far we're at 7 minutes and 5 seconds, and this video is probably gonna be somewhere around an hour. Probably pushing this, or probably 50 minutes to an hour, pushing somewhere over there. I'll chop down as much as like the what do you call it? The tedious parts, me just running around in circles, so on and so forth, because I decided that I wanted to do the caves raw. So I did not take any guides, any videos. I did not look anything up. The only thing I did look up is some of the cave locations, because running around the map, it was a little difficult for me to find some of the stuff and the particular artifacts that I needed. This cave, I actually did find on my own on accident by doing the beaver dams. So, shout out to me, even though this is actually one of the caves that you don't actually end up even need to do, because it's not required for like the last boss parts. So, it's kind of just one of the extra caves you can do. Whole lot of Titanoboas, as well as Arcanias, or aka spiders, and snakes. And then the centipedes are, I forgot what they're called. I think they're arachne or something like that. Anyway, I highly recommend, if you are doing artifact runs, that you get you a Megatherium, because they get a damage buff anytime they kill an insect, which you can see that is that glowing aura around me that increases my damage by a lot. The higher the melee damage that you have spec'd into, the more damage they do. They also, I don't know if they take less damage or not. I feel like they do, and I could be wrong, but they are chitin magnets. Like, I'm sure y'all already noticed in the left hand side of my screen how much chitin I'm getting per kill, 1,000, etc. The server is boosted, a little bit as far as materials go, but still, they are the best chitin farmers that you could possibly get. Unfortunately, in me doing, I think it was this cave. If it's not this cave, it might be the next cave. I'll have to check as we get a little bit further along. But I ended up discovering a path to the underworld. Completely accidental, but I did end up finding a path to the underworld, which I believe it is this it is this path, because I remember the crystals. So, unironically, this is one of the caves you're supposed to go into, and I thought it had an artifact in there. I think it did. I just went the wrong way. It's a couple different ways to get into the underworld, which, long story short, is just like an underground area to the center. Has like a giant sunball in the middle. It's a nice little area. If you do PvP and stuff, I definitely would recommend one of your spots being in the underworld to see what you build there. probably easily defend, so on and so forth. But like I said, I didn't really take the time to look anything up because I wanted to experience it first. And let's just say y'all are gonna see probably like 15 minutes to like 20 minutes of me in this cave. I doubt it's even that long. I'll probably cut up even shorter than that. But I crashed a lot. For a reference, in the beginning of every cave or entrance hunting artifacts, I crashed. So a lot of these videos, you will see me kind of waking up and even already in the cave or in a random spot. In the beginning of the cave, you'll see me randomly waking up, and that's where the video will start because of that. So, you know, kind of is what it is. So I was supposed to end up going over there to that side in order to actually get the artifact of the, I believe it was the artifact of the Cunning, I believe. I could be wrong on that. But I didn't know how to get over there because you cannot grapple hook actually. Like if you shoot a grapple hook at the actual building itself, it will throw you off. I found it the hard way because I ended up trying to do it and I fell down into the water. So instead of me trying to do that again, I thought that the water would take me on a route to kind of go up. If that makes sense. It didn't. I learned the hard way. So I ended up taking my baryonyx, going into the water, doing a little swim, so on and so forth. And of course, this part I might end up speeding up. I might not. I don't really know. Like I said, I am kind of cutting a little bit, but I will let this part kind of play out for y'all. It's nothing but me. I thought the artifact might have been in the underwater area down here. I was having a little trouble breaking off my zip line, or not my zip line, my grapple hook. So I just did this the easy way. Grabbed baryonyx, threw him down, as well as put all my scuba gear, so on and so forth on. That way I wouldn't drown, obviously. And yeah. So I'll let this part play out for y'all, and then I will be back on to the next section. As y'all know, I will include timestamps in all of these sections, so you can skip through the boring parts that you don't want to see, and the nitty-gritty. Again, this is me preparing for the boss, so I did kind of want to take y'all along for the journey to a certain extent, and seeing what it takes to get to the boss. I could have just probably skipped through all this and be like, hey, you know, we're at the boss, but where's the fun in that? Whole point of doing, like, I guess the arc walkthrough, so on and so forth, was to kind of bring y'all along with me, as well as enjoy myself in the process. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say about this part. Enjoy the rest of the segment, and then I will touch with y'all when we get to the next little introduction piece. So you can see here we did finally reach what I call the underworld. I don't know what people are officially calling this, but I'm calling it the underworld because it's literally under the world. What this is like a whole different vegetation zone. It's predators down here, horses or the equidus, whatever you want to call it. It's some of those elephant, the new ads, pterodons. It's like its own ecosystem down here. But I end up taking off my scuba gear, obviously, so I'm not wasting it. Putting back on my ghillie, which is like my main armor, as well as pulling out my griffin once I realized that basically this is a lot bigger than I once thought it was. And then once I actually get on my griffin, you can see there's like the sun in the middle of it, so to speak. I didn't really find out that damage or not because I wanted to fly into it, but at the same time I didn't want to die and burn all my gear up. So you have to excuse me for my curiosity. If y'all do know for sure, definitely leave it in the comments and let me know if that the sun, quote unquote, does actually burn you up. Ironically, I did end up taming my first. It was a perfect tame equus down here. I ended up finding by running around and shit. But I'm not gonna make y'all watch that. This is just like kind of like the little side invitation, quote unquote, thing that I'm getting into. Now we can get into the actual artifact hunting because this was an accidental trip to the underworld. I wasn't even supposed to be here. So go ahead and skip to the next part. We are on Lava Island, and this one is the artifact of the strong, as well as there's another artifact that you need in this cave. It ends up acting as a dual purpose. Of course, I crashed, so it removed a lot of my save, that you can call it, so on and so forth, or progress of me actually getting it. So I'm just going to show y'all me getting the first artifact, and you're just going to have to trust me that there's 2 artifacts in this cave. As well as beware that you cannot fly actually in these caves. As you'll see, I'll get a little bit down. It'll kick me off the griffin. Lucky for me, I had fast fingers, and I hurried up and grapple hooked the wall. As well as, if you didn't already know and you're doing the hunt, I'll end up including it towards the end of the video, give or take, when I'm hunting all, you know, all the mob drops, so on and so forth. This is a very dangerous cave. There are, as you can see, snakes, spiders, centipedes everywhere in here. There are also megalanias inside of this cave towards the roof. If you are looking for the toxin, this is definitely one of the best places to come to because they are plentiful in this. You do got to kind of look, and sometimes they do glitch in a wall. If you have a dino finder, I definitely recommend using it to kind of see the location that they're at. I'm using quotation marks again because it's not always 100% accurate. It will tell you the area that they're in, but it won't usually give you the exact location. You'll have to kind of look around sometimes. But like I said, this is one of those caves that you are gonna have to come to. Beware. Like I said, for me personally, I crashed doing every cave. This was definitely one of them. And because I'm doing it raw, it did kind of take me a minute to run around pathing. Like I said, I will cut off parts. I know. I'm sorry, I'm sounding like a broken record, but I mean, all these artifact caves are pretty much the same. You run into a cave, follow the path, and try to find an artifact. This one particularly, if you follow the right hand path and it loops you around, it's pretty easy to go to both of them, in all honesty. You can see here there's a path to the right and a path to the left. Both paths will take you to an artifact depending on which one you want to go to first. I would advise taking the one to the right because that's the actual path you need to take for the artifact you need. But I end up going left, as you can see here. I'm running down the path into the middle. Just kind of seeing where it takes me. I end up skipping a couple of these, what do you call them, mobs, etc. I wanted to kill as many as possible just so I can get, you know, level ups and free XP and so on and so forth. But towards the end of it, I did kind of leave them alone and just, you know, run past them. But plenty of Titan bows, of course, if you're looking for the Titana Venom, which you do need 25 of it. So I extremely advise that you start killing these things just when you see them. The same goes for the Spinos, the Argies, Spinos, Argies, what am I saying? Thylacoleos, so on and so forth. If you're doing the alpha difficulty, you will need 25 apiece of each of those materials. So instead of waiting like I did into the last minute to start earning this stuff, I would just do it as soon as you start seeing these creatures. Because if you don't, it's a whole process. Every snake does not drop the venom either, by the way. I just thought I'll mention that. I learned this the hard way, that every snake does not drop venom. So it will, you know, hopefully you get what you need when you're killing stuff in the early stages. Because I ended up having to run a couple different side caves, so on and so forth. So it is what it is. But a side note too, I will let y'all know that something I found out that I didn't know until I was already in the cave, when I started having to end up grabbing artifacts and stuff, was that you can actually grapple hook onto this cave. So once you first come in, if you look at the top, you can shoot the roof and literally just basically swing your way over to where you need to go, instead of doing what I did and run all the way around. That's a lot quicker. You can, give or take, you can probably do each artifact cave within like 5 minutes if you know the exact path that you need to take, and you utilize the grappling hooks. You can avoid a lot of the dangers as well too. I would still advise, bringing some, a pocket dino to kill with, like I did, just so, in case you crash or whatever the case may be, you're straight. But on this path, we're almost to the destination where we need to be at. You have to follow it around. Of course, if I see something, I gotta kill it. For whatever reason, I don't know what's wrong with me. But you can see there, we finally got a Titanoboa on the left hand side. Well, you see me get it on the left hand side, but it's in the megala. I forgot the name of it. I literally just said it too. Megatherium. There we go. It was in the Megatherium's inventory. But once you come down here, you'll see like this little pillar thing. If you follow this path to the left, you'll see like that little top part on the left hand side right there. You want to take that path going up, and then it'll bring you to like a little tri-section. We're almost at the end of this like cave quote-unquote artifact run, at least for this one. The other ones are a lot quicker. This is kind of one of the longer ones that you are kind of in here for a little minute. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. So yeah, but if you follow this path all the way up, loop around, you'll get to this little entrance piece thing, whatever you want to call it, right here. And then it will give you two options to like the little path. You can even go straight. Well, it's mainly you go straight, and it's a cutoff to your left. You'll see what I'm talking about when we get there. I'm kind of just trying to kill a little bit of time because I don't want majority of this video just to be quiet and y'all just watching boredom. But here we go. You can see there's one path basically to take. You go straight up here, and then next to the bone, so to speak, there is going to be like a little break off to your left. I ended up passing it the first time, so I'm going to end up cutting it because I ended up running straight past it and got stuck cleaning up trees and shit, basically, and killing a whole bunch of shit that I had no business doing, kind of just wasting time. But where this torch is, as soon as I look back up, you'll be able to see what I'm talking about, from me fucking slaughtering everything in this damn cave. But you can see I am getting good levels as far as the Megatherium is concerned, and XP. But where this torch is in the bones, you would want to make this left right here, and then go straight back, and it's hidden. The artifact is hidden by a tree. I ended up looking over there. I didn't see the artifact, so I just decided to keep straight and see if I could find it up there. And of course, I made the wrong decision because I was wrong. So after clearing up this upper area for a while, I ended up turning around and was like, all right, let me go check this right area. As you see, whole lot of levels. I'm fucking feeding off of levels in this damn cave. Excuse me. But end up running straight back. As you can see, I'm kind of ignoring spiders and stuff at this point because I'm just trying to get through it. I've been in this cave for probably about, I want to say maybe like 30 minutes, give or take. A whole lot longer than y'all actually see. Like, I did cut out like a whole lot of nick and cranny pieces, as well as I crashed. I think I crashed like twice doing this cave. Mainly at the beginning I crashed, and then towards the end when I was getting out. But you can see it in the bushes right there. The artifact. I ended up clearing the tree, clearing out some of the foliage, etc. As well as I thought I heard a snake, so I cleared that out too. But again, this is not an artifact that you need. This is the artifact that's strong. And if you bring a otter with you, highly recommend. Your otter can actually hold multiple artifacts. So Depending on how your server's set up, you can bring an otter with you, take the artifact, transfer it into the otter, pick the otter, run out of render distance, turn around, and you can pick up another one. Again, depends on how each one of the it depends on how your server is set up. But this is actually one you're gonna have to get, which is the Artifact of the Cunning, I believe. Very fucking highly dangerous cave. I definitely recommend you bring way more than just one tame in here, because I end up losing one of my Diosuchus, which is the big ass alligators in here. Learned the hard way that it's a lot of dangerous shit in this fucking cave. I ended up also bringing the Karka on a different run when I actually came back, because what happened. I damn near lost the baryonyx in here too. You can see that the Megatherium is doing his job, clearing out some shit, so on and so forth. But this went on for a little bit. Of course, I'll cut a lot of the fighting out. That way y'all not basically forced to just watch me sit here and clear out mobs back to back and left and right. Because, like I said, this is one of the heftier caves that takes a little minute. But you do want to bring scuba gear and some type of swimmer. Or I mean, you don't have to bring a swimmer, but it is very helpful because you have to take the water directly down. Of course, it was a whole lot of, if you need saber-tooths or wolves, you can definitely come in here, clear some shit out, and hopefully you get a high level that spawns, because usually it's a lot of spawning shit. Like, if you can't already tell, like, it's yetis in here. It's not, I was about to say werewolves. What game am I playing? It's yetis. It is wolves, it is saber-tooths, it is spiders, as well as, I think there are centipedes in here too, if I remember correctly. But instead of me trying to fucking fight everybody in the world, I just said, fuck it, put on the scuba gear, dodge the baryonyx, zip up the Megatherium, and be on my way to get to the next artifact. But I will actually speed up the swimming portion, because it is a lot of swimming, and I mean a lot. So instead of y'all watching me swim for about, 2 minutes, so on and so forth, I'll just speed it up for you. So I will be right back as soon as we get to the next section, and I'll talk to you about that just a little bit. And then I will probably mainly it. The rest kind of you just watch until we get to the hunting part. I'll explain that just a little bit, and that will be the video. But we should be at least halfway through it by now. So after that long swim, again, you come off to this like Coliseum opening part. In every single like little section that you can see, like the little corners, there are a shit ton of 1 yetis, 2 saber-tooths, and yeah, it's just a lot. And then there are some wolves in here too. So this is where you want to bring whatever dino you got to kill with, and hey, go on a killing spree. So I ended up getting the Megatherium back out because I did see a spider, which you can see right there. I'm trying to aim for him first, that way I can get my buff early. But you can see I get surrounded really quick, and I start taking damage heavily from the yetis. Are just tossing me around left and right. They end up with the wolves, etc. You can see they throw me up there. Oh my, I can't even speak. This moment was almost traumatizing. They end up throwing me back in the water, and then to keep beating me. Unfortunately, the Megatherium cannot really fight efficiently in the water, so I'm trying to run to the side and get the fuck out of the water before they come jump. They end up losing aggro for just a little bit, until I repop in their surface. End up killing them some more, so on and so forth. Again, this just was a lot of fighting, to say the very least. So I'm going to kind of skip forward just a little bit for y'all, so y'all not forced to see me fight every creature and their mama out here. I'm trying to make this efficient, but also fill y'all in on all the gaps. So boom, we end up clearing out all the bodies, as well as these last couple wolves decided to jump me, so I'm doing the attacks. get them cleared out so I can hit this little loot drop. If y'all don't know, the best way to get ascended gear is generally caves. Like this, you can get loot drops, etc. They also spawn in the oceans, and if you get really lucky, you can get them out of loot drops from the air. So yeah, but we're back to running again. You know, nothing too special. I'll probably end up speeding this part up, like I said, with the rest of it, and yeah, I'll be back with y'all once we're through towards the end of the cave. So y'all can see here, we finally get to the artifact itself, which would be the artifact of the I don't remember what the fucking name is. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry. I'm tired as hell. It's the artifact of the Cunning. There you go. I'm recording to like 1:50 in the morning. I'm trying to, like, you know, bang these out and keep these on schedule for y'all. But the next artifact is the Artifact of the Skylord. This is one of the ones that you don't actually need, ironically, that I didn't know until I actually got it. So it is what it is. But it is one of the bigger caves. So you can bring your T-Rexes, your Karkas, your Gigas, whatever the fuck you want to bring. I would highly advise that you bring something that can kill a lot and fast. My personal preference is bringing a Karka for one, their speed boost, their damage, and just overall their utility wise, you know, extremely useful. You don't gotta worry about it dying, and you can just sprint straight through the cave. So this one I'm not actually gonna speed up because I think this only took me a couple minutes to get through anyway. Because of the speed from the Karka, after you get a kill with it, it gets a speed boost to it. So this one, unlike the others, didn't really take me a while. This should take me probably about, I don't know, 8 minutes, something like that max, so on and so forth. And then we're going to move on to the Artifact of the Hunter, which is going to be one that you need. These early parts I did, you know, kill a whole lot of shit, so on and so forth. So I might actually change my mind and speed this process up, because I did take a good little bit of time to just kill it. Alright, so I ended up cutting like maybe like 6-7 minutes of me just purely running around killing shit out of this clip. So excuse me if the path looks a little choppy, but we did end up coming upon the Artifact of the Skylord, which again, this is not one of the ones that you need for the bosses, but it was one of the caves that I did, so I did kind of want to show y'all. And then the next little artifact is going to be one that you actually need, which is the Artifact of the Hunter. So the Artifact of the Hunter, boom, skip on over. As y'all know, the little thing is because I did crash. In this cave exclusively, you do want to bring, I believe you want a flyer, not flyer. I'm sorry. Excuse me, y'all. Like I said, I'm tired. It is not a flyer. You want to bring something that can get through very tight spaces, whether it be Megatherium, a Thylacoleo, so on and so forth, because this cave exclusively is really tight and narrow, as you can see by the pathing right there. Very tight, very narrow. For the most part, this one is a straightforward one if you just kind of follow the path and stick to the right side of it. You'll get to the artifact in no time. Drops are, again, plentiful, easy to get, none too crazy. Yeah, it's pretty much hard to get lost in a lot of these caves. I found if you just stick to the path directly as like they provided for you. But yeah, I'm kind of running out of shit to say because it's really, after doing about like 5 or 6 of these back to back, it's pretty much all just the same process. You run through the cave, follow the path, kill some shit, and then you stumble upon an artifact. As you can see here, boom, we got the artifact of the hunter. I would recommend collecting 1 or 2 of these if you can, because like I said, this is one of the essential ones that you do need for the actual boss fight itself. So I ended up chucking it in my otter, doing the process where I run out of render distance and getting it again. And then these next couple clips, you're just gonna see me killing shit in order to get the mob drops or the things that you need. Argy claws for one, the Titanoboa venom. You already see me get some of that later. This is the same cave. As well as you can get Megalania toxins in here too if you watch the wall, so on and so forth. Next up is another spot where you can get Megalania at, which is actually in the redwoods. They hide over in these cave little regions. Usually they stick really close to the walls, really hidden, so you do got to keep an eye out for them specifically. But you can see here, boom, on the left hand side, I ended up getting some more toxin from him. And the deep seas where I stumbled upon, they are squids. Of course, you need tentacles. Lucky for you, you only got to kill about maybe like 5 to 6 of these because they drop 8 apiece. So 8, 16. You have to kill 4. Kill 4 squids, and then you should have enough to end up building everything you need. Be careful though, as you can see, they will grab your tames and start doing damage. I highly recommend getting you a megladon and then one of the Dionsuchus, which are alligators because of their chopping power. You can see I ended up my oxygen tank ended up snapping actually, or breaking as I was doing this, so I had to return to surface. I trusted my tames and put in that work. I speed, scoot back down, charge up my bite, and get to work. As you can see, boom, that bite did 7,000 damage by the Seekers. But I'm gonna go ahead and skip this up a little bit where I get it back to the surface, because one of the dinos did eat it. As you can see, it was my big snapper. He drops black pearls, the tentacles, the compound extract that you need for a lot of the high level stuff, etc. As well as you will need Bailosaurus blubber. Now, I don't know if this was just me and if it's supposed to work like that or not, but for me, I had to manually basically grab the bag off of the Bailosaurus. My dinosaurs would refuse to eat them for whatever reason. Again, don't know if it's just this dino or what's the case with it, but they will drop a little bag for you. As you can see, boom, Bailosaurus flubber or blubber right there. You need 25 of all these. You also need to get Sauro vertebrae, which are dropped from Diplos, Brontos, basically anything with a long neck you can get it for. As well as you will need to hunt Thylacoles. Warning, if you did not know this already, do not bring a flyer in the redwoods and try to fly and look for them, because they will grab you off of whatever amount you have, pin you to the ground, and start chomping on your flesh. I've died because of this a good like 2 times before I learned my lesson. You can get a bow or any type of range weapon and just look at them and shoot them, and then they will start dropping slowly down the tree. And then from there, you can kill them however you see fit. Shotgun, pike, dino, whatever the case may be. As well, if there are multiple on the tree, they all will attack you at once. So you can see here, boom, Thylacoleo Talons. I decided to show y'all another little spot of the Megalania spawns that they, in a rock, because I needed some more. So just do just a little bit extra there for you. That's all, just a little extra. But last on the list, we have the Spino Sails, which is probably the most annoying out of everything to get, because every Spino is not guaranteed to drop a sail, as well as there's only about 6 of them on the map at a time. So good luck. But I did not showcase the megladon teeth or the Sarco Skin. As you probably noticed, I added in the description. You can find most Sarcos in the swamp, as well as megalodons everywhere. But that's pretty much going to conclude the video. Y'all know the drill though. It's been your boy DopeSomething. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Dope is back again. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next video, which hopefully will be the Center's boss fight. Peace.